Or bigger than a hell ring. Things like you heard on the decks. Brother hold the court and give the chief no suspect. Politics in the mix, like Gumbo Stewart Rich. Spinning tales from Black Wall Street, real life's the pitch. Johnny Glover Show, be more news. 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 Business tips hotter than lava. Got that Midas touch. Stocks and blocks teaching youngins how to clutch. Ears to the concrete, finger on the pulse. Dropping wisdom like Homer, each word a joke. Johnny Glover Show, be more news. 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 Walls painted black, history on lock. Blast off from Tulsa, rebirth like a clock. Markets rising from ashes to gains. Donnie the narrator, truth runs in veins. Johnny Glover Show, be more news. 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 Business tips hotter than lava. Got that Midas touch. Stocks and blocks teaching youngins how to clutch. Ears to the concrete, finger on the pulse. Dropping wisdom like Homer, each word a joke. Johnny Glover Show, be more news. 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 Walls painted black, history on lock. Blast off from Tulsa, rebirth like a clock. Markets rising from ashes to gains. Donnie the narrator, truth runs in veins. Johnny Glover Show, be more news. 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 Show, be more news. Be news.
First name's Donnie, last name's Glover. In it to win it for the long haul, baby. We have with us Mafia Shakur. Introduce yourself, big brother.
Peace, family. Mafia Shakur from Baltimore. Yeah, man.
Peter Brooks, introduce yourself.
Yes, Donnie's former professor. He was very proud of him right now. That was an incredible intro, man. It's such an honor to be here. Yes, I was Donnie's professor at Coppin State University here in Baltimore City, the greatest city in the world. What can I tell you?
Got Chi-Town in the house.
Peace, everybody.
Harsh Leader 4.
Peace, everybody. How y'all doing?
Doing well.
All is well. Yes,
Hannibal James, Detroit.
Hey, what up, though, everybody? Peace and love, everybody.
Sure, for sure.
Peace, man.
We got Wells in Hawaii.
Peace there, Brother Wells.
Blessings and peace.
Peace.
Everybody had a good day?
Awesome day.
Yeah, definitely.
Hey, man, I ran across something I wanted to share with you. Y'all ever seen that before?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Mardi Gras Indians.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've seen similar things, but I've never seen this.
Yeah, not specifically.
Yeah, not specifically, but yeah. Mm-hmm.
No, it takes them a whole year to make one suit.
Yeah.
Mm.
So they do a history like between the Choctaw Native Americans and the Africans down there in Congo Square. So they be making tribute to them ancestors.
Yeah, it just make me think about how they had a Jamaican Day parade, everybody Caribbean, how we just don't have ours because we not tribed up in a commercial sense as for promotion that way.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Peter, you wanted to share something. Go ahead, get your claim to fame, and don't be all day, Professor.
I wanted to share this. I thought of your audience and everything. Now, I'm always a show behind, Donnie. So I thought your audience might like this, and y'all let me know if you do. I found it to be very profound.
Why?
Well, first off, because of the
Put it up.
sound. Can you hear me?
Yeah, put it up.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
For learning theories, no practical. So when you go to the university and you have a certificate you are holding, the question is, what does it qualify you to do? So if I want to employ you, I want you to do something for me. What can you do? I have a friend, we were in the US together. He did the MSc political science. He wanted to wait and do PhD. So he went to the factory to work. They said he can come tomorrow. He came the next day. They gave him envelopes to fold.
All right, Peter.
After one day, he went back. He said, I cannot do that job. He said, I have MSc political science.
Come on, Peter. Where we going?
Even with the masters.
Where we going with this, Peter? This is a pro-American crowd. Why are you bringing up the Africans? You ready to get us all scalped, beheaded, and all of that up in here? Do you understand? Where are we going with this, Peter?
I'm trying to point out that there's oneness in all people that's sort of irrelevant to education. There's a common sense which education takes you away from. That I'm saying that, look, when I was in Jamaica, you could find people who were educated from the British and they could just do one thing. But when you talk to the Jamaicans, they could do anything. Anything. It was amazing. Plumbing, electricity, carpentry, everything. One person would know all that stuff. Cement, driveways, you name it. So, yeah, our education, I feel like, robs us of a lot. And our education, in a way, it takes us apart. It really does. We start, talking about this tribalism thing is kind of the downside of it, because we start that in education with this fraternity and stuff. So, yeah, I'm going deep on first down because I don't know when I'm going to get the ball again.
All right, well, let's take the ball back. Mafia Shakur, give me a recap on last night. What'd you think?
Man, last night was very informative. Yeah, it was a powerful discussion from the author that brought his perspective on whiteness and the victimhood of indentured slavery, and Topcatz come in and putting every detail in order and chronological order at that, and pointing everything out. That's one thing I like about Topcatz is he pointed out to the history that you can see and touch, and to connect the dots for us. But also what Peter was just saying as far as in education, I think it's just what we being educated about. See, I don't think we have an issue as far as in the oneness of the all in all of us as a humanity or society. It's the issue of that everybody is in the race, but we the black race and we blacked out of the race. So we not even in the race, but we just playing along with everybody else's game. So the education of knowing who we are and what is our game in this race, how do we even get in the race to be a part of the race?
Yeah. I caught the part where you said, the Jamaicans can do everything, and that comes because they the playing field wasn't fair. You know, you had to be able to diversify yourself. We always had to diversify ourselves to fit in. So we had to be, what's the quote, 10 times better. So I believe that education is needed. I think that's maybe a way to soften the masses, because you can't move without educating. There's different forms of education, like learning history, and then it's the technical aspect. So I believe them things is needed.
Well, I appreciate it.
Well, I
Because
think
I
that
agree with you. This is what he said. It's what you're educated about that's key. I think that's the key right there.
that's the secret ingredient, because that's just like how they classify some children as being hyperactive or ADD, which according to some people, that they remove the H from there, the ADHD to ADD. But when it comes to making a child sit in the classroom all day, we're dealing with little balls of energy that's not supposed to be sitting still 8 hours a day, just sitting there with their hands folded. And so then when we start classifying them and getting them put on medication because they can't memorize the indoctrination that's been put into their brains, because I just discovered recently it's either China or Japan. They have 24-hour schools that the students can go and come as they please in whatever classroom they choose. So they can go into a class and stay there for 10 hours if they want to, or they can go and stay an hour and leave. But when you try to force this indoctrination or this information into children's brains, because I remember learning geometry in school, and I'm trying to figure out when the hell is the last time I actually used some geometry.
See?
Now I may have used it in practical stuff, like fitting the stove into the square between the two cabinets or something, but there's nothing geometrical that I put on a piece of paper and say, oh, there's my answer. So a lot of the stuff we call education, man, is just memorization of some stuff that we don't even you won't even need it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think like something like geometry, I would say it was dumbed down to how to use it in society. You know what I'm saying? Because the sacred geometry, we use it every day. We just don't identify with it.
True indeed. True indeed.
Because it's taken.
So it's just like
Take it from
for me personally, like I could say, math was always one of my favorite subjects in grade school. So it was like I gravitated towards math and science and social studies and history. But it was like language arts. I had an issue with language arts because, like we say, the indoctrination. It was just like what I was reading wasn't fulfilling me. And also once I got into history, what I was reading, history, I like history, but it wasn't fulfilling me. So that's how I got into, deeper history or African history or indigenous history, cosmic history, all these type of different histories that made me want to learn more as opposed to the things we was educated in school. So I understand the systematicness of it, of everything in society. So that's what I feel we trying to do. We trying to create not necessarily something to indoctrinate us, but we need our own Bible, so to speak, of who we are, where we come from, and what is our purpose in this time that we living in today.
Well, there's a social element to schools because you get to mingle with different people. Yeah. Now we live in a different age now, right? So in other words, when I was going to school, I went to school one to get out of my parents' house and mingle with other people and utilize the resources that the school had in terms of I was a film student or whatever, so I had access to that kind of stuff, but in terms of the straight old school learning, right? That's that's a thing of the past because this is a university we in right now, right? So we're able to come together and discuss things and bring like Top Cat was bringing vital information on different things. Well, we all are, you know. This is school. We're in class. So this is the evolution of education through technology. This wasn't even possible a couple of years ago. Wasn't even possible, right?
It's
So,
true.
so
To
you know
hear
we're
somebody from
we're
the
in a
source.
different time. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a really profound way to look at it because you're hearing from somebody from the source. We all talk about Africa. We'll hear what the Africans have to say.
Correct.
And
Eh, yeah.
she was
And
saying that
go ahead.
just because you have a master's doesn't mean that
Mm-mm.
you have anything. She says later,
Correct.
the biscuit maker and
Mm-hmm.
the mason have it better than you. And it's true.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Is anybody familiar with the etymology of the word school?
No.
Hell.
Mm-mm.
I was
Yeah,
heard. I
Okay.
was yeah. It's hell. So
yeah.
it's like it's understandable. The school to prison pipeline for school to be hell. It's like it's jail. You know what I'm saying? I went to Hartford Heights in Baltimore, and we used to have to line up outside and put our hands behind our back and tuck our shirts in our pants. This was elementary school. You know what I'm saying? So
Wow.
it was already a program. It was a psychological program, and that was already projected onto us to accept.
Yeah,
Before we
I
even knew
noticed.
it was a school to prison pipeline, before we even heard of what that was.
Yeah, and I know. Like in Chicago, like a lot of the public schools, they had the same paint on the walls as the jails did.
There you go.
You know
There
that
you
that
go.
that that, that real dim beige
Mm-hmm.
color. Those hard floors and some of them doors were like them big metal doors that you can't them boom when they close. And I didn't understand it until I got older. But a lot of people don't know that the color scheme, the vibrates, man, they do something to your energy, man. And hey, man, you know what? I really love us as a people. Like when I started listening to Frankie Beverly and Mays, the Isley Brothers, man, it just takes me there, man. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Minnie Rippleton, man, I could literally get lost in the music for hours, man. I'm like, man, I'm gonna play one song, then here it is 5 hours later. You know what I'm saying? I'm still here picking songs, but just us resilience as a people to be able to go through what the hell we have been through for the last 500 years and still be trying to figure this out. I remember heard Phil Valentine saying that if you live in this country and you're black and you're not crazy, you're crazy. So I love us as a people,
Yeah.
man. I think that we're resilient people, man. Man, we gotta be resilient, man.
It was a book by I think his name was David Horowitz, and it was talking, I think, about the race relationship between African Americans and Jews. And he made this profound statement. He said, "Who is more American than the African American?" And I had to think about it from the perspective that we've been in basically every war here. Who we try to follow the law, we try to make things equal, and who has been more American than us?
It's true.
How about this? What would America be without us?
Right.
Hey, I want to. Did
The Super
anybody see
Bowl
that?
would be dry. Thanksgiving would be dry. Everything would be dry.
Did anybody see that interview with Charleston White?
We'd have no
When he was
school.
talking about when Charlie Kirk got killed or whatever, and
Who?
he made ain't his name Charlie Kirk, the white guy that got killed?
Yeah. Yeah.
Who was commenting on him? No.
Charleston White.
Okay.
He Charleston White crazy, but he is intelligent. I've been riding. It took me a minute to adjust to him. But after I started listening to him, I'm like, man, that brother's on point. He has a crazy way of saying things, and he might go in left field at times, but he is intelligent as I don't know what. But he made me think. He said that nobody likes white people, especially American white people. And he said for the past 50 years, the only friend that white people have had is black people.
It's true.
And they don't even treat us like anything.
It's true. And that's something you hear at the reservation, man. American Indians, man, out west, they actually kill white people and they brag about it. We talk
Wow.
about it in the cities, but it's totally different.
Well,
So-
you know, one of the key difficulties.
Detriment of black people. He ain't looked to white people and said, "Hey, we got a bunch of white kids shooting up schools. Say we got a bunch of white kids and they babies. We lead the nation in child pedophilia and molestation of children. Hey, man, we need that Epstein list out. They say the president's name is on that list. He ain't doing that to his people. He was a talking point who spread a lot of misinformation, almost the borderline of lying. The statistics that he was using was false. Black people don't commit 50% of the murders in this country. We commit 50% of black murders, which is a small fraction compared to the Mexicans, the whites, the immigrants. So and then, homie, he challenging children. I'm challenging adults. So we are not the same. He wasn't putting his life on the line because he was talking just about black people. He never talked about nobody else as if black people are America's problem. So that's my problem with that shit. Hell, he ain't no me. I stand up to the gangbangers, the killers. I pick on the bullies of the race. He pick on the weakest of the race, the small, undeveloped brains of our children on the college level, on the entry college level.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a real message.
You know, one of the difficulties is this concept of we're all created equal. Right? So one assumes that when one goes into the educational system. But the educators have been generally programmed, right, for a certain aesthetic, a certain culture, or a certain lack of culture, however you want to look at it. But it's clearly a program. So when they say we're all created equal, we're equal to what? Equal to what? So if we are constantly striving to be equal to that, okay, that has a specific agenda to keep you out of the mix or to keep you down or only show your success in relationship to their program, what are you setting yourself up to be equal to?
Failure.
Hmm?
A worse
So
failure.
I once saw Ice-T and they were talking about the violence that he was portraying either in song or in movies. And his reply was, well, hell, we're just doing what Jimmy Cagney and Bogart and those people are doing in films, right? But once again, that's projecting a false equality. Don't be equal to that. Discover who you are and see what kind of magic comes out of that.
I wanted to share this clip with you. Somebody got some mean background noise going. didn't really get too crazy. I mean, but
Where is that?
This was at a HBCU, and this young man apparently went on the campus, supposedly for a debate, and it resulted in them, I guess, walking him off the campus. So that clip, the ugliest it got was where maybe some young people were jumping in front of the camera, and but nothing much beyond what you saw there in that clip. And the person who posted it, and I invited him on the show, was saying that he was embarrassed. He said, how could these, is this what we send our students to HBCUs for? And I gotta tell you, I side with the young people. If you're blood and you got a handkerchief hanging out your pocket and you walk over there to where the Crips are, what do you think is gonna happen? Now, I don't know about the debate, how he was invited or what have you, but you got a MAGA hat on coming through a campus. All campuses are being threatened. They threatened Harvard. So I wanted to get you guys' thoughts on it.
Yeah, see, it ties into what we opened up the show with as far as an education. Because if we don't have the proper education on the not what's actually out in the forefront, but what's behind what we seeing. You know what I'm saying? Just like make America great again. Why wouldn't we want America to be great again? Because if it's ours and we trying to reclaim that. You see what I'm saying? But since we have Trump that was the one who introduced it, we disagree with that. So all they doing is just putting more confusion into the pot so that we not educated and we not following along with things that's supposed to be going proper. Because how we was talking about race yesterday, we misunderstood what race is. So if racism don't exist in certain places, they trying to still incite more racism to people who uneducated about what race is and how to operate with that. So it ties right back into what we're saying about education, because the youth, we have the heart or scholars, they have the information, but we have to bridge the gap. You know what I'm saying? The brain, left brain work with the right brain, and work with your kundalini so you can have a full thought.
Peter, you've been a college professor. Do you think those young people were unwarranted? Do you think they were warranted? Do you think they had the right to express themselves? Do you think they were embarrassing? I didn't find them to be embarrassing. I like I said, to me, it was like you going over there and you kicking the hornet's nest. And what do you expect? I mean,
that's what you call the loyal opposition, man. They're playing their role. They're doing what they got to do. You know what I mean? To show that, hey, we're here too. You know what I'm saying? Don't ignore us. And so, yeah, I feel like, and they're responsible. They're growing up in this. They're looking towards their future, and they don't like what they're seeing. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I can't.
Yeah, I will say this. This came to me earlier today. Mafia in 65, the year I was born, Malcolm X got killed. When I was 3, Martin Luther King got killed. At 3 years old, I remember the angst. I remember the tension. I remember the National Guard coming up North Avenue, coming up Patterson Park with tanks. I remember catching the bus, being on the back of the bus, and feeling, you could feel the tension in the air. I have since learned that in East Baltimore, where we lived at Patterson Park in Landville, that if you lived over there, you had to have a red mark or a black mark on your door during the 68 riots. Otherwise, your place, and my father had a funeral home, your business was getting vandalized. You was getting got. So one of the things that was maybe expressed in the comments was, and I ain't gonna say no names, but that the older people didn't fight. Our people, we have always had to fight. We may not have seen it in the past 20, 30 years, but I was born in the middle of the riots, of the chaos, of Medgar, of Malcolm getting shot, of Martin Luther King getting shot, Emmett Till, you know, they mutilated him so much, but his mother insisted on having an open casket, or the hundreds of lynchings that took part of men and women. So I hope we never forget that although we don't see a lot of Black Panthers and Malcolm at the mirror at the window with the AKs, and that spirit is alive and well. Thank God we have it. And they really don't want any kind of fight in this country. We don't. We just want people to act right. But it's like living with a drug addict family member. Until they get help for their sickness, racism, we all sick. Just don't know.
Yes. No, I feel every generation had their fight, and every generation fought their fight. But as time go on, the veil is lifted, so we see more information, or we privy with more information. We a product of the fight that y'all fought. You know what I'm saying? To fight the fight that we trying to fight. So it's standing on the shoulders of the next man to get ahead.
And let me also put a plug in for the soldiers. Every time our Black men and Black women went to war, going back to the Revolutionary War, the 1st Rhode Island Regiment tilted the Revolutionary War is my understanding. And it was a lot more complicated then we look at it today. We look at it as American, British. No, you had different Indian nations. You had the Spanish. You had the French. It was a free-for-all. And we played a role in it. And you're damn right. We are as much American as anybody else. I'll tell you one thing. I do have a question. What is the difference between Native American and American Native? I am totally perplexed when they hit me in the comments. What's the answer?
Well, those are both government terms. Some were enacted and adopted into those who were considered as civilized tribes.
Well, is there anything we can agree on? I mean, because I don't know what to call myself on here.
Yeah, I know. And
if you say you're Black, you're wrong. If you're Negro, you're wrong. You're colored, you're wrong. You're African American, you're wrong. What in the hell? Then I go back. Moors, Hebrews.
Well, there's a uniqueness with that. And the uniqueness is we're the only people on the planet, that can have an identity crisis like you just explained. Right? And we're still here and we're still resilient. Now, this is my question. I understand that Ghana, or the president of Ghana, said no, African Americans or whatever can come over here and get citizenship. Okay. This is something that he offered. Okay. Now, in terms of our tribes here, why aren't they saying that to us?
Saying what, Wells?
Because in other words, if we family. So they see us struggling. So what's the gig? Why is it so difficult for the existing tribes that identify as the melanated tribes not to say, well, come on with us?
I think it's some angst against us that nobody is talking about. Like we talk about the miseducation that's out here. Mm-hmm. This been going on for hundreds of years. Even back in Africa, quote unquote, it was angst back then against us in a different way, and it's leading here today,
I feel like how brother, sorry to cut you though, like Brother Horse was saying, it's a part of they already with the system. Those tribes that already exist and claim they already a part of the system to keep us out. They already made they deal with them. It's like the civilized tribes that sold out the Constitution, the original Constitution. So they already in bed with the enemy. They can't help us. It's like celebrities who get millions and can't help their own community where they came from. You know what I'm saying? So they in that cross. They in that.
No,
trap.
that's clear. That's clear. I got you.
You know, I want to say, free Rashad Jamal. But also, has anyone really just stepped back and took a look at why is it that the people on this particular landmass that we call the United States, why are we the center of the world's attraction? We are the center of attraction, man. I mean, the center. Nobody's focused on the people in Brazil. Nobody's focused on the people in Nigeria. Nobody's focused on the people in Australia.
Now, could it be media? Because hold up now, and Professor, you're a media expert. We do have, whether we know it, a very narrow media. It's not like we're in Europe or in Africa where you got multiple stations. Countries are real close to each other. It ain't equal. It's harder to tell a lie. Over here, hold up, homie. We really just get one news here. I don't know. That's my perspective.
Well, I just want to say that, and I don't mean to cut you off, but I want to say that we're at the center of the attention because we are the plug.
No question.
We just don't know we're the plug. And man, Paul Mooney said that if we, and excuse my French, but he said, man, if we were to take shit and wipe it on our sleeves and start wearing it, everybody else would do it because we do it.
And that's why it's so important for those youth to speak out.
The ones who created it.
Yeah. That's why it's so important for the youth to speak out and to send that video to let people know, that there is opposition and it comes from the source. You know what I'm saying? The source. So, yeah, I agree with that.
And I think that guy that went on that campus, that was very arrogant. And you trying to downplay and defame, the character. And it's like, remember, Donnie, when I said that an old guy told me a long time ago, if a white man was sinking in quicksand, he would be more concerned with what we're doing as opposed to trying to save him damn self, to lift himself out of the quicksand. They are obsessed with us, man. I listened to the one sister said, man, we need a restraining order, man.
I got a question for you. Do you ever have you ever heard a sister talk about white female microaggressions at work?
No.
Have you ever had that conversation of what sisters go through in the workplace?
Black? Yeah, I have. Yeah. Come to think of it, yeah. Yeah, and it's the obsession, man. Let me feel your hair. Or like the one sister, they got a poem that's called Dear White America. Anybody ever heard that poem? It was like a spoken word poem, but she was like, she said, white girl, talking about, hey, boo, how you doing? Like, no, you don't talk like that when you're talking to Becky. Have anybody ever been around a white person in the area where white people at, and a rap song come on, man, get low, and they know all the damn words. But they be trying to let us know that they know the words. I don't even know the damn words. I might know the hook a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But the obsession with us, man, is real, man. And I done gave up trying to put my finger on why they so obsessed with us, man. What the hell is it with the obsession?
Nipsey Hussle said they hate us because our culture is contagious. So I think we are infectious and they are indoctrinators. So the imitation could only indoctrinate us to be a certain way, but we are contagious and infectious, so they can't help but to be taken over by who we are and how we, share our aura to the world, and what we share with each other is just natural. We can have disagreements and retract and we can have a subtle disagreement. You know what I'm saying? Without no violence, we could just use our words, our head nods, facial expressions. Everybody gonna understand what's going on.
Hey, Dr. Phil Valentine said that they did this survey with these glasses, and they were watching a movie on a big movie screen, this crowd of people. And the glasses could monitor where your eyes go on the screen. And he said that it was white people on the screen or whatever. And he said a black guy stepped in the room onto the screen and all the eyes was on the black guy. It's almost like a moth to a flame type of metaphysics going on, man. It's like it's something about us, other than, what we know. Because, why is everybody looking at this one guy on the screen as opposed to the rest of the people on the screen as soon as he steps in?
Come on, Peter. You got a couple more clips you're going to run here.
Well, this next clip, it just, to me, it shows that we're living in something real, and it's modern times, and I know y'all gonna like this one, I think.
My name is Morgan Cooper. I'm a U.S. citizen. I am married to a Palestinian, and I've been living in occupied Palestine for over 20 years. We are raising our 2 small children here. I am heading out the door. Come on, Larice. Bring the computer with you to try to figure out how to get my kid out of school. My husband has just called me saying that the Israeli military is in downtown Ramallah, and he and his car are now blocked in by them, and he can't get to the school. And the school has just sent a message.
All right, Peter, you fired. What's that got to do with Black Indians?
It's just a universal thing. It's like Bob Marley. Bob Marley was not an Indian, but that's something we all relate to. You know what I'm saying?
Let's
I'm trying to find the common ground. You was my professor. Right now. Because I thought about where you came from and what you're dealing with, and
you were my professor for 1 semester. Now, I just figured you at least understood media. Do you see the comments? Do you see the audience? Do you see who's mostly listening and watching and supporting this show? I don't see a lot of comments from there. So it's like, are you missing?
Well, listen.
We talking to Black people. So, if anybody understands Gaza Strip, it's us. Hell, we can just look up Park Heights at the racetrack. You got Jews on one side, Blacks on the other. And it's a fight for territory.
Now you see why I put it on. Go on.
Horace, tell me about these pyramids.
You've been doing this to me for years.
No, you fine. Come on, Horace. Show me some of these. Yeah, I need to see some pyramids. This cat will make me.
Hey, I'm gonna throw my flash drive in, but I want to say, if anybody familiar with Chicago gangs, the Black ones, you got Black Disciples, Gangster Disciples, you got Vice Lords, you got Four Corner Hustlers, you got Four Corner Hustlers, you got Mickey Cobras, you got Black Peace Stones, and you got New Breeds. Those are the main 7, 8 Black organizations, and the way that they were structured from the 50s all the way up to the dismantling of them in the 2000s, that those brothers like Jeff Ford, they killed Angelo, Larry Hoover, etc., David Boxdale, they would have evolved into what we know right now. A lot of them brothers got cut short in their prime, and then the mass incarceration with the drug thing, came into the play. But like right now, the way things are, man, the whole city is running rampant, to a degree. But see, they understood that the tribes on the land were the same tribes that they had been fighting since they came over here from Europe. They just went by a different name. So they morphed from the Comanches to the Gangster Disciples, or they morphed from the Apaches to the Black Peace Stones. Same tribes, different name. So they broke that up so they could continue this madness that they're going against the people, because they've been at war with us since they got here. We never was at war with them on a mass level, even though we did fight, and that's what the Gullah Geechee Wars was about when they was going down to Louisiana, and then they were renamed as Seminoles for some strange reason. But I do know that when Martin Luther King got killed, and the riots were going on all over America, Jeff Ford was so intelligent that he told the people on the South Side, don't burn our buildings down. We're not going to tear up our communities, because we're going to still need these different stores, et cetera, after this madness dies down. And I'm just saying that to say that, man, we had a lot of things in place that would have been a stronghold for the people or the tribes on the land, but they broke that up, with an urgency, man, because they knew that they were never going to stop. And they knew that the resistance, because like how they try to portray the gangs now, as well as the black men, like all of us wear pink mini skirts, or all of us, carrying the rainbow flag. That's not true. See what I'm saying? But they got rid of those brothers like that, because how they try to make it look like the Mexican gangs are tough as hell, or these other ethnic groups are so tough. And when I was coming up, man, the brothers in these organizations I named, they were just like that. They were, I'm talking about militant and loyal, to the cause. So they would evolve, man, into what we know now. And I'm just, happy to be alive to evolve from that and know what those brothers never got a chance to learn. But I saw the big picture. That's why I put together, what I put together, Donnie, to try to bring those tribes together in the first place. Yeah. Man, Tulsa, Oklahoma, man, that was horrible, man. And do you know that Oklahoma wouldn't even pay those people restitutions, after they were 100 and something years old, man? They said, no, we're not going to pay them anything. You had a black church over there that raised up $100 and something thousand for each one of those remaining victims of that. It was a lady and a man, and one of the men, I think that he passed before he ever got his money from them. But Oklahoma government, they say, no, we're not giving these people anything, man. So this is just a reminder of what they really care about us, man.
They're not
like Wells, they asking how to reach you in the comment line. So let's go through and let everybody put their contact information out, because we get these requests all the time. How can people get in touch with you, gentlemen?
Well,
can you put your email address in the comments?
Gmail.com.
Can you put it in the comments?
I've been fired. Nobody can get in touch with me.
No, that's right.
Yeah, especially you keep putting them non-black people on Black Indian.
And I'm talking about a universal struggle. That's all. That's all I'm trying to say.
Hey man, I don't know if you saw the last election, Peter, but black women said don't ask them to support nobody. The sister said they ain't supporting nothing.
Was homeschool permitted? Promoted and during any of y'all generations of being in school?
No, I don't remember that. No.
And like I was just, bringing, like, since the pandemic, homeschool was promoted. Did y'all any of y'all see the back to school commercial with the kids being like it was in a school shooting or something?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, it was a back to school commercial that they had put out there, and the kids it was like Nightmare on Elm Street in the school, and they was like, yeah, I got these new shoes, and the kid was running, trying to get away from somebody was shooting up the school. So it's like they promoting and telling us that the school system, we then knew the system was flawed, but it's like home is school. This is where we learn. Our parents are our first teachers, so we have to. You don't necessarily have to homeschool, but you have to teach your kids. It's like we send our kids to school for the school education. We just continuing now. They changing math. They taking slavery out. They changing what we being indoctrinated. That's why it's hard for us to come together, because they keep changing the information that we are receiving about what we learn, what we being educated about.
Hey, bro, when they drop a new pair, New Balance, everybody know where it's at. So we gotta, no more excuses. When the latest Nikes come out, we know where they at. So we gotta be on that information. I wrote this book, I Am Black Wall Street, in 2015, and this is the latest one, Black Blueprint, Baltimore to Burkina Faso. If you're interested, please like and subscribe to this channel. I don't know. Any other thoughts? You guys got questions?
I just sent you a image of one of them. I don't know what this about, man. Man, come on.
Where you emailed it?
But no, I put it up on here.
Oh, my bad.
It went through.
But it said it was an issue with it, and I don't know what the issue could possibly be. But this is actually in Tennessee. Man, you know how stuff is, man. It doesn't work.
Sometimes if it's not a JPEG, if it don't come down, oh, there you go.
There it is. So if you zoom in, if you can zoom in on this is the pyramid that's right there in Tennessee. Now, you can barely see it, but I mean, it's a cluster of them. And when you get up on this, it has steps, and the steps are like steps, like going up a flight of steps. Mm-hmm. They're literally all like that, leading all the way up to the top right there. And I just wonder, when those people on a daily basis see those steps there, how could they possibly think that those are mountains?
We presuming that. Look, you had me the other day when you told me about. Let me pull it up. I gotta pull. Come on.
And that religion persisted from around the center of Ohio all the way through Maryland. Throughout the early parts. So there's those mountains can be found, and in places like Federal Hill in Maryland, because they always wanted to make it on a peninsula, you know what I mean? A place where you were surrounded by the water. So man, I'm going deep. And in my defense, man, you notice how everything I showed fueled so much of the conversation, man. I got to keep my job. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you about to get had a crew out there waiting for you.
Yeah, you got these mounds all across America, down in Louisiana, down in Alabama. They call it Etowah Mounds in Alabama and Georgia. So there's a couple sites that's down there. Then if you back to the technology, they got the LiDAR, the drones that could fly over there and actually do a scan of it. And we got our people is into that. So it's the education is there, and we just got to put it all together, I believe. Absolutely. Somebody made a point about Harvard earlier, and I sent in the chat about Harvard's Indian school back in 1665, and they had Indian students there, and that's a good subject for people to look into, the reasonings why Harvard had these natives along that Appalachian into the school system there. And that's reflective of education now, because there was a criteria that they had back in 1665 to graduate from the university. I graduated with a construction management degree. So I got a construction management degree. I know how to do physics and electrical, plumbing, HVAC, and all that stuff. So I see geometry. I work with them type of things all the time. So, but it's a reasoning why we're in this position, why we're segmented, and why we're clustered in these situations. So, but I thought that this Harvard thing would be a good starting point for a lot of people, since it's like close to 1619. Just what's that? 46 years later. So back in 1665, the Indian school at Harvard.
Mm-hmm. It was good research.
It sure is. And, it's some things that's just a given. We've always been one people, you know what I mean? One struggle wherever we are. And so, that's just, if I got my little 15 minutes of fame, that's my message to everybody, and that's what I was about. So, yeah. That's all I got.
Hey, Hobbs, I was waiting on you to take the lead. Didn't you mention the Appalachian Mountains?
Pyramids
yeah.
are burial grounds. Burial.
I talk about them Appalachians. What your theory is?
Well, my theory is that they're pyramids, because if you look at the angle as well as the steepness of the mountains, man, and I've seen mounds that look just like them that are, maybe about 30 or 40 feet high.
Yeah.
Like I say, like down in Okaloosa, Florida, you got them. And I looked it up the other day, man, and I said that mound is about 90 to 100 miles long. I have to recant that statement. I would say maybe 200 miles long. And it goes along this lake that I thought was the ocean on the other side of the mountain, but it's actually a lake. But right on Highway 76, and I have to look in it's some part of Pennsylvania, but where the Appalachians are, there's a body of water right there, and it's real mysterious and spooky, man. When you get right there, man, and I'm talking about, man, there's so much energy that emanates from right there, and other people have said how those Appalachians up in that area are magnetic, and you can feel the magnetism when you're near them. But right there in that particular location where I was saying where the body of water is at, you have steps in the end of that particular mountain, quote unquote, or appellation, and it looks exactly identical to the steps that's in Pyramid Lake outside of Los Angeles, California, which they lied about and said that they carved those steps into that mountain back in the 20s with some form of technology or whatever. And I'm saying to myself, well, if y'all did that, why y'all haven't done it anywhere else? But we know how they lie. That's what they do. But those Appalachians, those are not mountains, man. And a lot of them have steps. And when you get up into areas like Scranton, Pennsylvania, you know what I mean? Man, they got one that sits like right in the middle of Scranton, man. It's so big that it's scary. But they have steps in them, or even like I said, upstate Schenectady, New York, in that area, and they're clustered together. So all of these times that we have been thinking that these things are mountains, they're actual pyramids.
You see,
and there's nowhere, there's nowhere on the planet, like I was reading the other day out of the Keys of Enoch. It says the sacred land of the West, which is the region of the original grids that was used by the masters. So we're in the land of the original grids that was first in the technology that migrated to the rest of the planet. And like I say, the way I see it is that when you have a clean sheet of paper and you have an ink pen and you put that pen down on the paper and start writing, over here where we are is that first dot that hits the paper, that original grid. But those Appalachians and Mount Shasta in Weed, California, there's a pyramid sits directly next to it. Well, that's Pyramid Lake right there. Okay, so you see that step pyramid that's right there over in the Appalachians in that area. Where I was talking, is this Appalachians or is this Pyramid Lake, Donnie? Who pulled that up? Donnie did?
Not me.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Okay, so
I'm sorry. Yes, it's Pyramid Lake.
Okay, so in the Appalachians, the part in the Appalachians has the body of water right there, and it has an exact same step pyramid at the end of one of those what they call mountains in the Appalachians. It's identical. You know,
And they're mostly burial grounds. Pyramids, burial grounds, man. You
well,
gave
not
your
all of
life.
them. Not all.
Well,
Yeah,
I don't know.
most of the mounds were burial grounds. I'm not saying that none of them were, but
Right.
a lot of them, you know, were places where they been transported to and from out into the cosmos, as well as energy harnessing places. Because we got to realize when the matriarchs were in control, quote unquote, of the planet, they were in all of these energy centers, controlling the harmony and the balance of the planet. Just like a lot of people don't know that down there in Rock Island, Illinois, there's a Stargate right there on the island of Rock Island, right on the other side of the Mississippi from Davenport, Iowa. So our ancestors, man, yeah, go ahead.
So Kemet TV asks, where are the steps in this step pyramid? Can you see the steps in the to the left, almost the lower left? So it's in the
about 1/4 of the way in.
Yeah, I think everybody can see that.
Yes, sir.
But like I said, they're the exact same steps in the Appalachians as well as a million other places, man, up in Iowa, Wisconsin. I don't know, man. I got them, man. I be working. I'm trying to figure this out, man. But I got other ones, man. They unavoidable. You can't, and they try to cover them up, but it's impossible to cover them up. But I'm gonna say another thing that a lot of people are unaware of is that our ancestors drew hieroglyphics into the ground as well. So when you ride past some of these places where there's trees where they send land developers down in there to survey the land, and then you'll come back 10, 15 years later, and there are entire communities built on those lands, but you can see the hieroglyphs in the land, and they look like a lot of the hieroglyphs that's in the Sun pyramids down in Mexico. Like Atlanta is full of them. Memphis, Tennessee, full of them. So I'm trying to figure it out, man. And I got my finger on it. I'm almost there. But yeah, those hey Johnny, if you could pull up Mount Shasta.
Slow down, fast guy. I'm coming.
My bad.
I'm trying to get Kincaid's cave, because this has been mentioned time and time again. Kemet posed the question. He said he was in the Grand Canyon, but this is Kincaid's cave. The Smithsonian refutes and denies that there were any Egyptian artifacts found in there. But that's what it is. What you want me to pull up?
Mount Shasta in California.
Let me pass the ball to Hannibal. Hannibal has something he wanted to show here.
Okay.
Is this it, Hannibal?
Yeah, so this is the Etowah Mound complex down
in Georgia.
In Georgia. So the mounds was used as like where the chiefs would live. Like if you notice, the town was made around the big mound. And then you had lower mounds where like the Yaholos or the medicine men or the religious people lived. You get what I mean? So you'll find these. So the mounds, the oldest mounds come from down in Alabama and Georgia and proliferate up north because they came from the south. So they even found the indigo that the Mayans used in their ceremonies in Georgia. So when you wanted to find like the essence of the pyramids and why the pyramids come around, you have to go to the knowledge of the South. And this would tell you, and especially how, and it looks small, but these is huge. These is big. If you've seen people there, they're gigantic.
Yeah, Kemet doesn't he doesn't buy. I guess it's that Kemet doesn't buy that there were pyramids or anything Africa related. I've never.
Yeah.
I'm trying to understand his logic here. Is
now Kemet
No, he
TV.
said
He is
he said
exactly
she
what it says. He's an Egyptian though. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like the difference between us saying that we American and we not African American. You know what I'm saying? So once you do the research and the history and everything, they always told us Africa, 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 and Africa sent us back to America. Now we got to uncover the ancient history of America that came before Egypt and Kemet and all these other things that was taught to us.
well, those are our great grandchildren. You see what I'm saying? So they pattern their structures after these structures right here. Because if you notice, there are no mounds in Africa.
Just the pyramids. Once they mastered it, they mastered the design of the architect. Once they had access, or however it was, as far as in them getting the information and the resources through warfare. And,
after so many man aeons, yeah, we mastered it, and I wouldn't deny that we built those as well over there, but I think that because man, you got people that live right on the continent of Africa that don't know a damn thing about Egypt. They right there on the continent, man, and
in
I'm
every
talking about they're completely oblivious to what's right up the street from them.
I agree.
But,
I feel like as we get deeper into the information, the more that we find out about the Eastern Woodland culture, the Mississippian culture, the trade routes, and the tribes that existed in that and that went to war with the power structures that came from, overseas or across the water, we can have a more clear identity as far as in where we at with that. Who are we? How do we go about moving forward? Because the truth is, even though we have the information that we have, it's still right in front of us, but we still can't see it because we just can't walk into the Grand Canyon. We can't walk into Area 51. You know what I'm saying? The mounds is landfills, and it's so much still to uncover.
They got them blocked off, man. They got them, but it's crazy that they're blocked off like that, because they don't want us to get to them. Because man, it like Stone Mountain, I seen Magic 363 when he had took all the brothers and sisters on Stone Mountain. Man, I thought that was beautiful, but that's a pyramid,
right?
No, it's not no damn mountain, man. One mountain like that just sitting in the middle of nowhere with nothing else near, no type of mound, little mountains or nothing, just one mountain. And then they got these Europeans carved into the structure of it. But like I say, man, the golf courses are burial mounds. And how disrespectful is that to be walking around playing golf on our ancestors' mounds, on our ancestors' burial grave? That's just like going to a cemetery and playing golf in the cemetery.
No, I agree.
Horse don't play about them pyramids. Hannibal, what you gonna put up?
Oh, so these are the Mayans down there, right? This ain't my picture, right? Let me see what I got. So I got I thought this was a fascinating video. One guy was searching for the Mayans in Georgia, and they found them tablets in Georgia carved in the ground with the Mayan symbology on it, the hieroglyphs from the Mayans down there. But the Mayans are what you call Muskogee Creek. You know what I'm saying? People from the Yucatan, So that's another history there. So the education of the natives might be something that we need to start to unravel to our audience. To understand the Muskogee, then understand the Cherokee, then understand that, the Seminoles, the Choctaws, and the Chickasaws are babies of the Muskogees. They just branch. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Once we can understand the tribe family tree, I think that would definitely help with the educational aspect as far as them. Like Boris was saying, tying that to the gang culture, because the gang culture is the outlaws. Who was outlawed? The tribes was outlawed. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah, we started the video with the Mardi Gras Indians. The Mardi Gras Indians, them outfits they're wearing right there, they representing the gangs of Louisiana. And down there in Congo Square. So if you listen to the songs, they say I'm Big Chief, and he get to calling out his gang. He get to spitting out what he's saying. You get what I mean? So you know that how we rap and stuff. That down in Louisiana, when you hear the Mardi Gras Indians, he's repping his gang. And then you see when they get face to face with each other, this is like old beefs, old ancient beefs, even before slavery ended. So you see one native dressed one color, and all his kin people dressed that same way, and they get in the middle of the street, and they'll just all be saying they look so pretty and fine. And that's the thing about they're not beating each other to death right now. They just beefing like that.
Dance offs.
I showed you, Donnie.
So I think when we dwell, like I was saying to you guys, when we see the parallels with our native history. When we delve into the native history, we'll see why we eat quote unquote cornbread. We'll see why our granny had the name Mahalia, because Mahalia is a Creek name, which means teacher, because the mother was the teacher. So I think that the education is pertinent, but I think that we had to do it in a way where it's like, 'cause we got generations here. You know, most of us think that we're disconnected. We got a younger generation here that's socially entertained. So they have to get this information socially entertainable. So how do we do that? That should be the key. But I do think that we need to unravel the relationships that Native Americans had. You know what I'm saying? Because most of them say, hey, I'm Native. And they get to say, well, I'm Cherokee. Well, I said it before. Cherokee means foreigner in the Muskogee language. A Cherokee will not call himself Cherokee. Absolutely. You know what I mean? So
we need to know.
Once we get these terms, I think that was the way of what's the word? That's like we was talking yesterday, like being white. You get what I mean? It's being Cherokee. You get what I mean?
Absolutely.
That's what that term is.
Mm-hmm. But see, the elders, like I say, these things get passed down from the elders, but they didn't look into it. So we get the catch terms, just like people say, we Moors and this, that, and the third. We get it passed down to us until we can get access to the proper relationships. You know what I'm saying? Because everything is whitewashed. Everything is whitewashed and stepped on. So it's about bringing it back together with the puzzle piece. So we know we dealing with the Mississippian culture, and we dealing with the Eastern Woodland culture as far as in territories until we get to the 13 colony aspect. You know what I'm saying? So we have to, like we were saying yesterday, follow the bloodline. The bloodline leads you to the warpath. So once we find the warpath, we'll see the trade routes. Then we can see the migrations that happen. Now we can compare the name changes to the timestamps and be able to identify not only with ourselves, but with each other. Even though we are American, we all have different features, but we all still on our indigenous. We Americans. So that's the thing. We all could be indigenous to this land, but we have different tribe aspects to each other as well. So that is a part of the bridging the gap too.
What do you call it, Shakur, when you have, because I'm looking at, I get a little taken in by these comments. Is this guy Kemet just totally against our connection with America?
Yes, totally. He is the
guy with the cartoon
Egyptian indoctrination. This is why they sent us to Africa, because if they have these type of perspectives, we'll keep arguing that we not from Africa. We not arguing about that. We know we not from Africa. If we go back generation. So that is the part of, it's just he's holding on to the truth of his knowledge.
Well,
because it's like people
I'm open to whatever the truth is.
but not everybody is, Mr. D.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Not everybody is. Some people learn to confirm what they already know. They don't want to challenge their knowledge. They don't want to have a meltdown in their heart because something that they believed in was a lie.
I've learned a lot on this show, some things that I didn't know. And I think it's okay to learn things you don't know. Come on, Hannibal.
But wouldn't that get an African claim to be indigenous, to be the first discoverers of this place? If he was here before Columbus, isn't that true? Wouldn't that be when if they say, well, if it was some Egyptians here or some Africans here, now every African American is indigenous now. You know what I'm saying? The fight is over.
And that's I'm sorry. To add on what you were saying, it's just like it always made me think, well, why do they want us to be African American? Because if the Africans they trying to conquer the land, they come from there. They telling us who the conquerors. If we know every conqueror named the people after themselves, why do they want to keep calling us African American? Just like the tribes that's already got their reservations and all that, they already a part of the system.
Mm-hmm. Well, one of the things also that I wanted to say is that
I'm sorry, Horace.
when you're looking at these cultures, these ancient cultures of ours, right? I often say you have to look at what they systematically wanted to destroy first. The other thing you want to know is what in those cultures was important. All right. So when you look at the movies, the John Wayne movie, or any of that stuff from the past, one of the things that they always did was they demeaned and made jokes of the medicine men. Right? Well, all of these cultures have that in common. Their reverence and respect for the medicine man now, or woman. Now, let's slow down. What really is that? What really is that? Well, the modern word is shaman, right? Well, what actually did they do for the tribe? Literally, actually. Well, from my research, those specific individuals were brave enough and trained enough to go into the netherworld or the ancestral realm and bring back vital information for the chief and his boys to disseminate to the rest of the tribe, because they have that guidance of that connection to the ultimate spirit. So we have to research that. Don't just poo-poo it. Oh, it was a medicine man. Oh, that's like an old doctor or something. These people literally went into another space and came back with vital information for the benefit of the whole community. Right? Well, where are our medicine people? Where are our people that are going into that sphere and sharing that with us to get out of this myopha? It's a question. I'm just throwing stuff out.
We on the panel.
Yeah.
We on the panel and we in the chat. You know what I'm saying? It's up to us. It's up to us to do whatever we specialize at. You know what I'm saying? We all a tribe. We all chiefs. But when it's time for war, Horace the chief. When it's time for education, Hannibal the chief. When it's time for eldership, Wells the chief. You know what I'm saying? When it's time for media and exposure, Donnie the chief. You see what I'm saying? When it's time for the youth, I'm the chief. When it's time for scholarship, Peter's the chief. You see what I'm saying? We all a chief as a tribe. Now, we could come from different tribes, but as a whole, we still a whole tribe.
Correct.
From this indigenous culture. So it's up to us to do it. And we have different strongholds on different aspects of how people view us in society to bring it together as one.
That's what I want to hear. Absolutely.
You know what, Elder?
Uh,
What you just said, man. Sent the electricity up my spine when you said that,
okay. Okay. Mm,
because that
mm,
was man so powerful, brother.
mm,
I'm talking about that so powerful, man. You talking about going into the realms that, man, that's powerful, man. I'm almost at a loss for words, man,
mm,
because I've done a few things, based on my own understanding on how to do it.
mm.
And man, I I done been, man. I was telling Donnie that the pyramids in Chicago, man, it was eating me up, man. I said, man, I gotta go, man. I jumped the gate.
Mm-hmm.
It was cold as hell outside, man, and like for the next 2 weeks, man, my back was hurting like crazy, man. I thought I was gonna have to go to the hospital,
Mm-hmm.
but eventually it ironed out, man. But I went and I spoke to the ancestors, man, the best way I know how, man.
Mm-hmm.
And so the larger pyramid, the one that every time I'm in Chicago, man, be calling me to go there, but I'm like, damn, I got to figure out a way to get there in a safe manner, because
Mm-hmm.
they got them blocked off. And then the last time that I was there in the cold, I was headed up that particular pyramid, but then some coyotes started barking.
Okay.
So I don't know if because when I looked that up, they said that they could have been trickster spirits
Mm-hmm.
instead of actual physical coyotes to keep me from going. But man, hey, brother, I got a long yearning to do that work, man, and go into that realm that you just mentioned, because that's where the nucleus of our answer lies at, because the ancestors, like in the movie Black Panther, no, he had to go into the ancestral realm and get the guidance on how to bring it on this side so we can be steered in the right direction, man. And what that
Absolutely.
brother just said, secure what you just said, brother, man, was so powerful, man.
Absolutely.
That was, man, powerful, man. I'm talking about, whoa, brother. Man, y'all don't have no idea, man, how much I love our perspectives and our pieces of the puzzle that we're trying to put together, because it just shows, man, hey, in 100 years from now, man, we're gonna be way further than where we are now. But we are fortunate to be at the forefront of this battle, while we got 8 million more people who are oblivious to what the hell we're talking about right now.
Yes, sir. But everything that became big started small.
Oh, absolutely.
Indeed.
A lot of people don't know what they want or what they need until you show them. You know what I'm saying? That's why most people want what they can't have, because they don't possess it already.
There's somebody in the comments that made a comment about Warren County. I guess that's North Carolina, and the Kearney family. I know who they talking about. It must be the Lumbee Indians from down there. So I think they talk about Tahoga. So I'll be paying attention to the comments. But I was talking. I want to say something to Horace. You know what the name Chicago mean?
Well, yeah, man, it means strip, skunk, or onion, or garlic field. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I wanted to chime in on a comment, and it was saying, why can't people agree that indigenous person is black on all continents? We are from Africa just as well as Jamaicans are. We are the same people. And it's not even about that we're not the same people as Jamaicans or anything of that sort. It's just the term black itself has no political, social, or economical power for us to claim our identity and our nationality as who we are. Let
me just jump in. There was a time when black was useful, because before we got to this conversation, y'all got to understand how we got to here. We had a lot of other names we were fighting off, like Negro, like colored.
Absolutely.
So y'all got to calm down on the black thing, because from where we came from, black was a step up. And what nobody cared about what somebody else thought. It was what we thought of ourselves. I understand what you're saying. Well, that's what it means, the curses. Yeah, but y'all, you can't negate. You can't unlive.
No, it's not a negate,
though. No, hold tight. Come on, Wells. Come on, Wells. Y'all got to hear this. Come on, Wells. What they call you when you was a little boy, Wells?
You can put me on blast like that. Colored, then Negro, then kind of back to colored a little bit. Then it went to, let's see, colored, Negro. Then it went to black just for a second. Then it went to Afro-American. Then it went back to black. Right? You feel me? To see the neurosis of this, and you would walk around with that, with your Afro shit or whatever.
That's what I was born on.
That's how deep it was, bro. That's how deep.
But it's not. It's not a negate, though. I just want to say it's not a negate.
I got you.
It's not to negate anything.
Absolutely.
It's just to add on because this is what we are accepting from what they given to us. Still, we still not identifying ourselves.
They're all powerful.
Yeah. So Donnie, back in the day, Walter Cronkite or whatever, right, is talking about the Negro people, and then it went to the then they started talking about the black people, right? Now they talking about, you notice this when you see on the TV, and they be talking about, well, black and brown people, black and brown rights, right? Well, we all shades of brown, bro.
Let me just interject this.
That's a move to divide us.
Not only have we gone through an identity crisis, America has gone through an identity crisis of what it believes itself to be, let alone what it calls us. So we in a incestuous, abusive relationship. It's like we done let a bad tenant up in the house and we don't know how to get rid of this cat. Now this cat, it's all one matrix.
Well, one other scene in the Sinners movie was when the homie was chasing the guy to the house, and he ran up in the house and told the people, look, they're after me, I gotta go in here. And they went in there, right? And then the Indian brothers came to the crib and they said, yo, is the homie in there? And they said, no, ain't nobody in here. And he, he could tell that was some bullshit. And he went and he said, that the person you think he is, he ain't that. He ain't that. That was a very key point. They ain't that, what you think. Right? You better try to concentrate on who you are. You better do that. Because if you get caught up in that mix, okay, they done already taken your music, they done already taken your medicine, they done already taken your prayer, they took your food. Okay?
Yes, sir.
So always look at what they took, what they thought was important. Right? Bring that back to you, okay? Because we're in the age of information. It is an incredible age in the sense that you can access all kind of wisdom just off the internet.
So Night Crave, let me just give Night Crave. Night Crave, it depends on how old your dad is, because I'm telling you, at 60, black was not looked at like you look at it today. And so that means the words have meaning and they can change, but don't let that divide us. That's all I'm saying.
No, that's not an issue.
When Popo pull all six of us over, they not asking, are you black, colored, Negro, African American? They locking you up.
I have a question for the panel. If two armies go to war and one is fighting for good and one is fighting for evil, which one will win?
Good. I'm with the good. To
Is
the
that
end.
is that everybody's answer?
It's hard to say.
Yeah, I was about to say. I was about to say because the evil not gonna fight a good fight.
Now, if you're looking
And
at
they
the
think they're
planet,
good.
half of the day is sunlight, half of the day is dark. If that's where you're going at, if
Well,
you're
no.
talking balance.
Well, no. The answer to the riddle is the one who fights the hardest.
Oh yeah, no question. Well, I plan to. We fight the
That's
hardest
true.
over here.
Yeah, see. The Dr. Martin Luther King, according to Harry Belafonte, said that I believe that I have integrated my people into a burning house.
You
So
ain't
we are.
gotta believe it. He did.
Yeah, and so that
clearly,
yeah, clearly.
clearly.
Yeah, and see that in itself is one of our nemesis, is that we're still integrated with the enemy. It's just like anybody ever seen the movie The Golden Child, where the
Yes,
dragon
sir.
lady told Eddie Murphy that
Yes, sir.
they had to keep evil on all four sides of the Golden Child at all times. We are the Golden Child. So they got to keep these things on all four sides of us at all times for distractions, as well as to harness our energy. But we got to find a way to break free, and going into those realms is one of the main ways that we can do it. But I think that segregation is like the number one thing. I mean, if it's possible for us to do that, is it probable that will happen? But man, can you imagine if we were to become segregated, what we would come up with in a half a decade or better?
Well, first we need to segregate our minds.
What you mean by that, Elder?
Remove our minds from the program
Yes, sir.
that doesn't recognize us
For who we are. Yes.
in the human family. Okay, that's what I see. They don't even recognize us as the human family, bro. Somehow we gotta snap out of it. You know what I mean? Like really wake up, right? And we have a theater now with the internet and this, that, and the other, where we can access, if that desire is in the heart to know, which is, we all have that. We do have a technology that can assist us with that.
All right,
Right?
Hannibal, we're gonna
So
get
we
your
have to
final
dig
word
deep.
in for the day. You got one piece you wanted to add. I see you done put it up here a couple of times. Hannibal, you're gonna need your own show. I see this now.
Oh, why you say that, brother? No, but you know, that was the last piece I was talking about Chicago and being the onion. But I was
That
just
wasn't
saying that.
Appalachia.
Oh, that wasn't me with the Appalachian. I don't believe so.
No, Appalachia Research.
Oh, okay, yeah, I see. Could you bring that one up? Yeah, that was the one about the Mayans down in Georgia I was talking about.
I saw the white guy on there, and I didn't know what you was doing. It kind of threw me. Okay, there you go. Is this a video or something? What is it, brother? Animal. I don't know what it is. Okay. Well, any final thoughts before we get up out of here?
Oh man, I just want to say thanks to the panel. Shout out to the panel, everybody on the panel. I appreciate the love.
Mafia, brother, you're deep in the heart, man. Deep in the heart,
sir.
man. It's big love, big connection, big
Yes,
praise,
sir.
bro.
Likewise.
For real. Absolutely. And Mr. Brooks, Peter, I feel you. you know, sometimes the metaphors can be difficult. You know what I'm saying? But I heard you. I understand where you're coming from.
Well, the important thing to remember is that in all of these tribal ways and stuff, and people wanted to know the traditions of the Eastern Woodlands, it always centers around the men, mentoring each other, forming a circle like this, discussing things and providing models for the young people to build upon. And so, once again, I go back to Donnie. I just thank you so much for bringing us all together. I think it was a special evening.
And Horace, you're in my heart. You know,
I appreciate it.
absolutely. And Hannibal, come on.
Yeah, I'm sorry, you guys, for the technical difficulties. I had to go from my laptop to my phone, but I appreciate everybody. I learned a lot from everybody tonight, and I feel everybody.
Yeah, and I appreciate the brother Clever, man, for providing us with a platform where we can have these discussions there. And man,
Donnie G.
man, I've been knowing y'all cats, man, for more than 3 weeks.
There we go.
For me, it's about Mafia Shakur because I want him to know that he's got young people coming behind him. And if we show him love, then he'll be more likely to show them love.
Much
Absolutely.
love.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Hey, I want everybody to check out Rashad Jamal's song called Kundalini Energy.
Okay.
Man, that's that's the baddest rap song that y'all cats done heard. Like you said, since the Harlem Renaissance.
There you go. There you go.
Yes, sir.
All right, well, hit us with them libations before we get up out of here, Horace.
Oh man, I thought you'd never ask.
You got to get some water, man. You're supposed to do it with some water, man.
No, I got some water, but believe it or not, brother, I got some pyramid water right here.
Because all I got right here is a Pepsi.
Yeah, I got pyramid water right here, man. That I actually got from. Well, I'm gonna send you a video of it from when the water trickles down the mountain. But I know that that's not a mountain; it's a pyramid. So I got out and got me 2 jugs, but I done did a ritual with one of them, so I got one left. It's down here under my bunk here. But so I want to start out by
give us a chance. Make sure you give everybody a chance to shout out their ancestors before it's all done. Okay, you got the floor.
Okay, I want to give honors to Prophet Noble Lee, to Queen Nita of Chicago, Illinois, who defeated 5 armies of invading Europeans. The most honorable Empress Radiasi of Louisiana. Honorable Elijah Muhammad, Malik El Shabazz, known as Malcolm, Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad, the Honorable Taj Tariq Bey, and Dr. G, the Honorable Dr. Claude Anderson, Dr. Francis C. Welton, Dr. Arbi Khanna, Sister Shahrazad Ali, Chief Warhorse, Mama T, Vicky Dilla, Sister Maya, Dr. Joy DeGrew, Patrice Lumumba, Professor P.L.O. Lumumba, the late Chief Freeman, Dr. Martin Luther King, Che Guevara, Dr. Malachi York, Obama Jesse Ghazali, Julius Malema, President Ibrahim Traore, the beloved brother Bobby Hemmett, the Honorable Reverend Phil Valentine, Nellie Fuller, Fred Hampton, Ivan Van Sertima, Dr. Ben, Dr. Clark, Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, Anthony T. Browder, Dr. Booker T. Coleman, Professor James Small, Rod Hayes, Billy Carson, 19 Keys, Dan Calloway, Karamu Ahua, the legendary Topcatz, and all of my brothers here on this panel, Dr. Shakur, Dr. Glover, I can't see my brother name here, Dr. Brooks. I got you, man. My main man right here, Planet Wells, and my other main man, Hannibal, man. Y'all brothers on that list as well, man.
Appreciate it.
Shout out to our ancestors, everybody.
Peace.
Peace, my brother.
Peace, fam.
Peace.
Peace.
Have a good one, y'all. Absolute.